Hey guys, I wanted to make a review video for Avengers Endgame. If you guys have not seen the movie, do not watch this video because it does have spoilers and I don't want to ruin anything for you guys. So I want to talk about my favorite part first, and my favorite part of the movie was Captain America's ending. I was so happy that he got to go back in time and live a life with Peggy. I cried when he was with her. I cried when they were dancing and they finally got their dance. I felt like this was the perfect ending for Captain America because out of all the Avengers, I feel like he was the one that got screwed the most because he got taken away from his timeline. He lost the woman he loved. He left everything that he loved was left behind because he was from a different time. He became a superhero because he wanted to join World War II and do his part, and he couldn't because he was unfit. But he still had the heart of a fighter. So I was so happy that he got a happy ending. I thought it was a beautiful ending with Captain America. He never got the chance to live a life. So I was so ecstatic, crying of tears of joy that he got to be with Peggy. When he was an old man and he had the wedding ring on, I was like, oh, he married Peggy. He had a life with Peggy. I would have sobbed if Captain America died. I was so happy he didn't die. And the scene when Captain America said goodbye to Bucky, like Bucky knew what he was going to do. That's his best friend. He knew he was going to go be with the love of his life and finally get the chance to live his life. I thought that Bucky was going to become the next Captain America because he does in different of the comic lines, but I guess they wanted to keep him the White Wolf, I guess. So now I'm going to talk about Tony's ending, his death. In the beginning, for a while, I thought that Tony was going to live and he was going to have a happy ending with Pepper and they were going to have a child, which that did happen. I feel like it was kind of both. Like he did die as the hero, but he also did have a happy life with Pepper and their daughter Morgan for 5 years. It really wasn't till the day of the movie when I was going to go see it is when I started thinking he was going to die because the movie started with him and the Tony Stark name, he's felt this guilt of how it has affected the world in negative ways. And if you watch the Peggy Carter series, which I just recently started watching that, and I love it. And Howard was at fault for a lot of things that happen in the story. And you see that in the movies as well, in Ant-Man, why Hank was angry with Howard for trying to replicate his formula. So Tony's ending was kind of like he redeemed the family name. He redeemed the Stark name and saved the world and saved everybody. So I want to talk about Thanos for a little bit. What I liked with what they did with him in this movie, and it really couldn't be fully explored because there just wasn't enough time, but in the beginning of the movie, after Thanos has done the snap and did his plan, he looks like he's this pitiful guy. Like he has this garden, he looks like crap from blowing his face off with the gauntlet. He's alone. He looks pitiful. And then Thanos from the past is cocky because he didn't lose Gamora. He didn't understand how much that was going to affect him and the sacrifice of that. So I thought it was a really good contrast to see how he was cocky and arrogant. In the past, Thanos, who came to the present, was cocky and arrogant because he didn't have to kill Gamora. And when Thanos destroyed the gauntlet, and he said that he destroyed it because it was too much of a temptation, it made me wonder if it was too much of a temptation to time travel to see Gamora. So some things that I liked overall, I loved hippie Hulk. I thought that was hilarious that Hulk became a hippie basically and was like, yeah, man, go green. I loved that Thor had a beer gut. That was hysterical because there's always comedy in these movies, but I was not expecting, because all the clips we saw in the trailer was just Thor being serious or looking serious. So I thought it was hysterical that he had a long beard, beer gut, and his friends Cog and Meek were just playing video games while drinking beer and eating pizza. I liked that Thor got to talk to his mom, and I laughed so hard when she said, eat a salad. I really enjoyed that Tony got to talk to his dad, and I wondered that. I had a theory that he was going to be able to talk to his father. I love Ant-Man, and in reality, Ant-Man and Hank are the heroes. I feel like Hank and Ant-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the equivalent to R2-D2 in Star Wars, because if it wasn't for the Hank Pym particle, they wouldn't have been able to save the day. And I loved seeing Hank's hippie hair in the 70s, and the part where Steve was looking at Peggy through the glass, that made me cry. But I also, other parts I liked, Rocket's always funny. I liked when Tony called him a Build-A-Bear, and he was like, maybe I am one. Now, there were a few things I was disappointed by, but the only thing I think I was really disappointed by was Miss Marvel, because there was all this build-up for her. The Miss Marvel movie came out not long before Endgame, and Nick Fury at the end of Avengers Infinity War, he called her. So there was all this buildup that she was going to have a major part in the movie, and she was only in it for 5 minutes. I also wanted to know how Valkyrie survived the attack from Thanos on the ship. I wanted that to be explained. I was also hoping that there was going to be a Miss Marvel and Nick Fury interaction, but there wasn't. So to me, I feel like that was the only thing really that I found disappointing, and I was disappointed that Vision didn't come back, and I was disappointed that Loki didn't come back. Unless they'll bring them back in the future movies, because there's cosmic space stuff you can do, so maybe they'll come back. I really, really, really hope so. Loki's one of my absolute favorites. So overall, I thought it was good, and I felt like it was obvious, everybody who was dusted, they were going to come back, and they're the newer characters, so they're the ones that are going to lead the franchise. So that, we knew that they'd be undusted, but it was, how was it going to play out? How was it going to happen for them to be undusted? And who was going to die for that to happen? I also, before the movie came out, I was thinking, is there going to have to be another sacrifice for the Soul Stone? And there was with Black Widow, which was sad, but I really wanted Hawkeye to be with his family again. So it was definitely the end story for Captain America and Iron Man, and which I knew their stories were going to be wrapped up. I knew it was going to be the end for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you had a favorite moment, I would love to hear what it is, so leave a comment. I had so many. I loved seeing Jarvis from the Peggy Show. I loved the cameos of Robert Redford. I loved the Hail Hydra joke. I loved Captain America fighting himself. I loved the cameo of Tilda Swinton. So if there's any moments that you loved, I would love to hear from you guys. Or if you have any thoughts about the movie that you'd like to share. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please like it, and please subscribe. And be on the lookout, because I'm going to be making some Marvel theory videos after this movie that I just don't have enough time to talk about in this video. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and Avengers Assemble.